Police say a Magoffin County man was shot and killed after he pointed a gun at police.
New details are emerging about the months leading up to the death of a Lexington man and the arrest of his boyfriend for murder.
Coming up, we'll show you what people in Danville are doing to celebrate the life and accomplishments of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
We are tracking the investigation into a deadly officer-involved shooting.
It happened yesterday in the Gunlock community in southern Magoffin County, not far from the Floyd County line. State police say a trooper shot and killed a man while trying to help the sheriff's office serve a warrant. WKYT Sam Smith tells us what led up to the shooting in our top story at 5 o'clock.
I'm told state police and the sheriff's office went to Carter Castle's home yesterday to serve an arrest warrant. Police say when they arrived, Castle told police he had a gun with him. Police say they tried to negotiate with Castle at the scene. A deputy and a trooper both used tasers, but police say the tasers did not work. Police say Castle then pulled out a gun and pointed it toward the officers. Police say a trooper shot Castle. Castle was then airlifted to St. Mary's Medical Center in West Virginia for treatment. He died today. No one else was harmed. State police say this investigation is ongoing. I talked with several of his neighbors today. They say Castle will be missed.
He seemed like a pretty nice guy. Me and my husband would go by and he would always wave, and we've seen him in a store a few times and he's always talked to us and he seemed pretty good.
Coming up at 6, we'll tell you much more about Castle and how he'll be remembered. In Magoffin County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
State police say the trooper is on paid administrative leave. Funeral arrangements for Castle have not yet been finalized.
We are learning new details this afternoon about a couple involved in a deadly stabbing. Lexington police say 20-year-old Matthew Donahue stabbed his boyfriend, 40-year-old Todd Schumacher, to death at their home on Lamont Drive last night. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy talked to neighbors who say they're surprised by what happened in their neighborhood.
We pulled court records, and months before the stabbing, officers charged Matthew Donahue with a violation that's similar to a cruelty to animals charge. That case is still open, but now investigators are focused on his latest charge, murder.
Investigators say Sunday night Donahue stabbed his boyfriend Todd Schumacher inside their home on Lamont Drive. Neighbor Charles Ewing was walking outside to smoke a cigarette when he noticed dozens of officers in their front yard. He never thought they would be on his street investigating a murder.
It's always been a quiet, peaceful, good neighbors, no trouble at all.
Court records show officers have talked to Donahue before. Last October, they arrested him for a care and treatment of animals charge. They say in a, quote, fit of rage, Donahue put his roommate's canine in a hot oven, causing multiple burns to the canine.
There's never been any trouble on this street or in this neighborhood. Everybody used to know everybody and get along.
The arrest citation for the care and treatment of animals charge lists his roommate's dog as the victim. Friends tell us that's the same dog Schumacher reported missing about a week ago. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Donahue is expected in court later this month to answer to the care and treatment of animals charge. Lexington police found a man with a gunshot wound while responding to an unrelated call this afternoon. They made the discovery on Bryan Avenue near Devonia. We're told the victim went to UK hospital with a non-life-threatening wound to the leg. Police say they don't know where the shooting happened, but they're planning to interview the victim once he receives treatment. It has been another mild day across the area, but the warmer weather won't be sticking around much longer.
WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is here with us on this beautiful Monday with an early check of the forecast. Jim?
Well, Chris Bailey knows how to time it. He is out enjoying the sunshine and warm temperatures today for you, with most of us running in the 50s, close to 60 degrees. That's the focus of our forecast, too, because this mild air is going to hang tough. At least through midweek, that's when we'll start to see things trend a little bit colder. So there's your focus. Defender remains calm throughout the entire area today for you, and it likely will through the evening, into the day tomorrow. Our next chance of seeing a little bit of activity won't happen until we get probably into Wednesday, and it's a small chance at that. A little bit of cloud cover out there for you as well as we head through the evening hours, but really that is about it. We look at our 24-hour planner. We go ahead and look ahead to 8 o'clock, or around 40 degrees at that point. Now, we will cool off during the overnight and early tomorrow morning. I think we'll hover right around freezing for the bottom line. The actual low tomorrow morning, probably around 32 degrees, but we'll quickly warm things back up again as during the afternoon and evening hours we'll get pointed closer to where we are today, right back in those 50s again, which puts us beyond 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of year. We'll take a closer look and track all of the activity coming our way into our area coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Authorities have officially confirmed the identity of human remains found back in October. Our county-by-county coverage begins in Fleming County. The coroner says the remains are from University of Cincinnati professor Randall Russ. He disappeared from Grant County in August. Police have charged 2 men, Charles Black and Kevin Howard, with Russ's murder. In Todd County, a judge has set a date for the retrial of a man accused of killing his 9-year-old sister. Garrett Die will stand trial on March 9th. Police say he beat Amy Die to death in 2011 when he was just 17. A jury convicted Die of murder once already. The state Supreme Court overturned that verdict, saying police repeatedly threatened Die with the death penalty to get a confession out of him.
Across Kentucky, many people paused to remember the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. One of those celebrations took place in Danville this afternoon. As WKYT's Mike Linden shows us, it's a tradition that's been going on for decades. The story is new at 5.
For more than 30 years, people have gathered on this day at the First Baptist Church on Walnut Street in Danville to celebrate the life and accomplishments of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. More than 150 people came together this afternoon at the First Baptist Church in downtown Danville to sing, celebrate, and march to honor the legacy of Dr. King. City officials say it's a learning experience as much as it is a celebration.
Learn what he preached for all of us to understand. That the only way we're going to solve our differences is to converse, hear each other's perspectives, be respectful of each other's perspectives.
The Boyle County branch of the NAACP partners with the church every year to put on the event, an event that is meant for all ages to attend.
So many of the kids today don't understand the civil rights movement. To help educate them, to help them realize the struggle that the people before had to go through to get to where we are today.
Festivities began with gospel music and prayer and ended with a march through downtown Danville. While Dr. King is no longer alive, attendees say it's important to always further his message.
We have made some progress and made some strides, but we have to continue to make the progress and make those strides. So today is just a day to reinfuse the vision and to keep the dream alive.
In Boyle County, Mike Linden, WKYT.
Well, officials say the event will continue next year and people of all ages are welcome to attend. The Wildcats returning to Rupp Arena tomorrow night.
The Cats remain a perfect 17-0 for the season. WKYT's Rob Bromley's here with a preview and our Big Blue coverage. Hey, Rob.
Well, that's right. Vanderbilt comes in tomorrow night, and the Cats will again be a huge favorite over a team that is riding a 3-game losing streak. After 2 close games that went to OT, the Cats have steamrolled their last 2 opponents, Missouri and Alabama. Assistant John Robick filling in for Cal at today's Newser. Cal on the recruiting trail up in Massachusetts. Robick saying there's no chance that this team will get complacent.
That'll never happen. I mean, it just won't. I mean, I've been with Coach for a long, long time. We approach every game the same exact way. We don't inundate them with film or, walkthroughs. We hit specific things, and then when it's time to get ready for the opponent, it already clicked in that we've already worked on that. So complacency is not an issue with the staff or the team.
And next up, a return home, another late-night tip tomorrow night as the Wildcats host Vandy. You can see it on the SEC Network beginning at 9 o'clock. Once again, Devin Booker is the SEC Freshman of the Week. 2nd straight week he has won the honor, 3rd time overall. We will talk about him coming up in the next half hour and what he's doing at the defensive end. Sam, Amber.
Thank you, Rob. He has been hot. The Cats remain #1 in the country, though Virginia received 2 votes for the top spot in this week's AP poll.
Here's a look at the most viewed stories on our website right now. People want to know more about a deadly trooper-involved shooting, a meth lab bust in Breathitt County, and the identity of a Lexington murder victim. You can find these stories and more on WKYT.com.
Investigators spent the day looking for bullet holes at the home of Vice President Joe Biden. Someone fired shots from a car outside the house in Wilmington, Delaware on Saturday night. The shots were fired from outside a security perimeter before a Secret Service agent spotted a car speeding away. Author Ronald Kessler, who wrote several books about the Secret Service, says the shooting highlights the need for better security at the vice president's residence.
They really are not prepared for a major attack using heavy equipment or explosives.
The vice president and his wife, fortunately, were not home when the shots were fired. Police are also investigating reports of shots fired at a nearby home. Security in Europe remains high following a series of terror attacks and raids.
As Marley Hall shows us, leaders met in Belgium today to find ways to reduce terror threats from homegrown radicals.
Hundreds of troops are on the streets in Belgium guarding potential terror targets. Security is especially tight at the U.S. Embassy and in Jewish neighborhoods. Police are on alert in eastern Verviers, where security forces killed 2 suspected terrorists last week. Authorities say they were planning a major attack. Police in Europe have arrested dozens of terror suspects since Islamic extremists murdered 17 people in Paris.
We will all be determined to do what is necessary to keep Europe safe from the terrorist threat.
Foreign ministers met in Brussels Monday. They're calling for an anti-terror alliance with Arab countries to share information and increase cooperation.
The threat is not only the one we faced in Paris, but also spreading in many other parts of the world.
In Pakistan and Afghanistan, thousands of Muslims continue to protest the French newspaper Charlie Hebdo's latest cartoon of the Prophet Muhammad. They burned the French flag and chanted death to France. In Europe, authorities in France and Germany have called off anti-Islamist demonstrations in an attempt to head off any further violence. Marley Hall, CBS News.
European leaders are preparing for a summit in Brussels next month focused on fighting terrorism. A Texas meteorologist is back on the air a month after someone shot him outside the television station where he works. Patrick Crawford spent several days in the hospital following the shooting in Waco. He and several staff members wore Superman shirts in his honor for his first morning back at work. Authorities are still looking for the man who shot him.
With flu season in full swing, some people say they're having a tough time finding a drug used to treat the virus. Tamiflu helps shorten the lifespan of the illness. We checked with a few Lexington pharmacies to see if they had it, and several of them told us they have a good supply for now.
It's cyclical. People will take Tamiflu or take the shot and they'll get to feeling better, and then you'll have Christmas break and stuff like that. Then all the kids go back to school and bam, you got another round of flu because people are in closed environments.
Right now, Kentucky has widespread flu activity. There have been 32 flu deaths statewide.